everybody, good morning once again, good people. Welcome back to This Morning. Chayla Mendez here, your host, part of your family. And I'm actually bringing part of my family here on set with us today. Please meet my favorite sister cousin, Miss Monique Hart. How are you today, love?
I'm good.
Why am I sounding so formal?
I know.
Hey, cousin.
Hi.
Love you. All right, so we are here, but we're actually going to be talking about some serious things today. This segment, you guys know I love purple, and there's two reasons why I love purple so much as well. Not just for who I am, but also it represents the color for lupus awareness. So this morning is all about lupus, and of course, my cousin was diagnosed with lupus, and she is a fighter. But I think in this journey, it's about learning what it is, it's to educate all of us, and hopefully it can connect with anybody who may be suffering with it as well. So, Mo, let's say Lucia know your story.
So, I was actually diagnosed with lupus officially in 2011. And that was when I was diagnosed with lupus nephritis, which is where the lupus attacked my kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
And so that caused like inflammation of my kidneys, started to go into kidney failure of my, starting with my right kidney. And ended up having to go on chemotherapy and so on and so forth from there. And I've been fighting it ever since, where it has attacked other organs and as it chooses when it feels like it. So
Now, with that too, just for the benefit of anybody who's viewing today and may not be aware of what it is, how can we better understand what exactly lupus is?
So lupus is an autoimmune disease where basically your body, your immune system attacks itself. So the best way that I can describe it to a lot of my friends and so on and so forth is basically it's almost like when you get a cut and your white blood cells rushes to the cut. You see the clear fluid build up on the cut. That's your white blood cells going to fight the bacteria, fight whatever it feels does not belong there. So with the lupus, basically your white blood cells increase and it attacks your organs because it believes it doesn't belong there. So it may attack my heart and can cause heart failure, heart attacks. It can attack my brain, where I've had seizures because of the buildup of fluid on the brain. It attacked my spine at one point in 2015, where I had to learn to walk all over again, which is called lupus cerebritis, where it causes severe inflammation of the spine. And I had to wait till that passed and go to rehab and learn all over again until the inflammation went down. So that's the best way I can make it make sense somewhat. So yeah.
Great. Now I know with that to your battle with lupus, it's up and it's down. So sometimes you just never know. And as you mentioned, you did have that moment. I don't want to say it's a low point, but it was a major moment with that because I was concerned. So many of us who were who love you were concerned knowing that you were in bed, couldn't walk, hearing that you're going to have to learn. Like, it was so scary. How did you feel, and what helped you to kind of keep that fighting spirit and overcome?
I don't even know. I don't even know how I did it. Like, I guess I'm a jokester, so I kind of just use my sense of humor through the whole thing, but I did have moments where I broke down, and it was one of the scariest things that ever happened in my life because I didn't know if I was ever going to walk again. And for something like that to happen to you at the age of 30, after you've ran track, high school, college, and so on and so forth, and then to turn around and you can't walk, and you're like, wait, my legs have been put to use for many years. So it was one of the hardest things I had to go through, but I had to be strong more so for my family because I think they took it a lot harder than I did.
Right.
And so I had to make sure I was always smiling and keep it light so that they didn't know that I was really suffering, And I noticed that a lot of lupus patients, a lot of my lupus friends are strong like that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I know you mentioned too there's other symptoms with it too, like the lupus rash, something to do with being in the sun.
Right. So there's several symptoms that come along with your lupus and lupus diagnosing. You'll notice some people get alopecia, which causes bald spots in the hair, and you may lose all your hair. You have the butterfly rash, which is a rash that comes across the face, almost in the shape of a butterfly. I also get it on my chin. You have rheumatoid arthritis, which is very linked to it, so you'll see the knuckles. Sjogren's disease, which is it causes dry mouth, dry eye. You can get sores in the eyes or in the mouth. Your teeth will break easily, which is I also have Sjogren's and rheumatoid. These are all diseases that come along with the lupus. And then you have UV sensitivity. So with sunlight, you have to constantly make sure you have proper sunblock on. If you're in the sun for too long, you can break out into severe rashes or sores, as you witnessed me go through. So your hands turn completely white in different spots.
Wow.
And it can be very painful. It can be cold to the touch. And yeah, so lots of things linked.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm happy that you're sharing it because not everybody may want to share the story publicly. So thank you for being brave enough. This is why I love this girl for doing so. And I mean, for anybody who's going through this right now, because sometimes you have the other factor where people are not understanding. And this has opened my eyes to just trying very hard not to prejudge anybody or anything. You may look and want to laugh because you see somebody dancing this way and say that they can't do. But sometimes you never know, because I know we had an experience during the summer and we could see, you know, like girls watching and whatnot. I'm like, but they don't know the story. And again, it just makes me more open-minded and I guess open-hearted, if I could say that, you know, to it. So what would you like to tell anybody in St. Lucia right now who has lupus or is suffering with any ailment, really?
So one, you know, lupus is known as what we call an invisible disease. So a person may look totally normal on the outside, but are suffering on the inside. There's not one day that I go through in life without some level of pain. So with that being said, no one understands what I feel like on the inside, even if I'm smiling and trying to keep moving with my life. And so there's also a term, BYDLS, but you don't look sick. And so that's a term for several people with like sickle cell and lupus and things where they are invisible diseases. And so don't prejudge. You know, a lot of times it's hard for people to understand that I'm hurt and I can't hang out with you. But they're like, but you look fine. And I'm like, but I'm not, you know? And so it takes major adjustments for your friends and family and so on and so forth. But for all those who are going through autoimmune issues, it's going to be hard, but you have to fight to try to continue to educate those around you as much as you can, because they're not going to understand. And the quieter you are about it, then the more ignorant people are going to be, because you haven't educated them on it. And so it's going to take time, but just stay strong and fight the fight and continue to educate.
All right, so this is the moral for today. This is our, I think, centering thought. No matter what you're going through, whether it's lupus, you know, special good morning to all of our lupus fighters out there. Whether you have any other disease, anything troubling you right now, be a fighter. So we are not ending this on a sad note. We're sharing the story that hopefully it will empower somebody else to not give up that fight, not give up that fighting spirit, no matter what it is. So let's keep it positive. Let's all be fighters today. And of course, let's be living our best life.
Living our best life.
Yep.
L's up.
Have you heard about DiveFest? If not, don't you worry. Right now, we're going to let you know everything you need to know about it. And of course, it is here. It is for us. It is for dive enthusiasts. It is for everybody, even first-time experiences when it comes to diving. So let's hear exactly what it's all about.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the St. Lucia Tourism Association. We have brought you in today because we have a very exciting program set for September, and it's called Dive Fest. The St. Lucia Tourism Association is conducting Dive Fest in association with the Divers Association, the St. Lucia Divers Association. And here with us we have the president of the St. Lucia Divers Association, Mr. Donovan Brown. And from the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, we have Mr. Ernie George, who is the sales manager for the USA. I must let you know that Dive Fest is into its third year, but this is the second iteration. The first one was in 2016 and it was held in collaboration with some partners on the island. It did not take place last year, unfortunately, but we're back and we are putting on a fantastic and extravagant program for 2018.
To be partnering with the St. Lucia Divers Association to bring Dive Fest 2018. What is Dive Fest? It's an opportunity that we have to show the rest of the world that we here in St. Lucia, just like we're known for adventure, romance, honeymooners, we're going to let the rest of the world know that we here, we are ready to showcase diving. We are ready to show the rest of the world that we have the sights and we have the underwater adventures that can take them and make them have a great vacation right here in St. Lucia. Who's on this with us is the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, along with the St. Lucia Divers Association, and we have about 8 hotels partnering with us. What we hope to achieve at the end of this is just like we aim to grow the different niche markets, just as we aim to grow the different offerings for our destination, we hope that diving, and we know that after the influencers, the divers, and all of them come down here, they're going to be telling the rest of the world and showing them what we have to offer. Also, this year, we're bringing down a crew of 15 divers, dive shop operators. We're bringing down some influencers, and they'll be here from the 13th to the 16th, and they all will be experiencing diving. Think of the world famous pitons and diving beneath there, you know, showing the rest of the world all the amazing sights and inspiring underwater adventures that we have to offer. So we know that this year is going to be different. We know that this year is going to be exciting, and we're all looking forward to this year just to make Dive Fest 2018 a real success.
Good morning. I'm Donovan Brown. I'm the president of the St. Lucia Divers Association. For short, we call it ABAGLO. We basically represent the dive operators on island, the divers on island, and our main job is to promote diving safely, and to develop the product, scuba diving in St. Lucia. We have worked for many years with what was the St. Lucia Tourist Board, now the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, in promoting diving in St. Lucia. And we also work with a number of other agencies, SMMA, SLASPA, Fisheries Department, to develop the product. And Dive Fest is a part of that product development that we have embarked on in conjunction with the Tourism Authority. This year, Clinton told you, this is our 3rd offering, second really Dive Fest, and we're trying to make it really big this year. I would invite you to try and learn to scuba dive. It's a very addictive sport. We live on a fantastic island, a beautiful island, and most of you know what you see on land. You need to see what is on the water. It's 3 times, 4 times as beautiful. We even have a dive site called Keyhole Pinnacles that look exactly like the 2 pitons. Right? And as you would expect, it's in Soufriere. All right? Dive Fest this year, we're trying to up it a bit more this year. The participating hotels, Tikai, Rendezvous, Lespoor, Windjammer, Anshasni, Jade Mountain, Sugar Beach. They are the main participating hotels. A lot of the dive operators are participating also. And they have come together with a nice program for that week. We're going to have an opening ceremony which will take place at Windjammer Landing. It's basically going to be a nice get together for the divers to come in, meet each other, meet other personalities. We're having a guest photographer. He's going to run 2 or 3 underwater photography sessions where he'll teach you the idiosyncrasies, the things you need to know when you're taking a photograph or a video underwater. And he's also going to be the chief judge in our photographic competition, which we'll ask all the guests to participate in. That week is a very simple week. It starts on the 9th of September with the opening ceremony. And then in that week, we'll have a treasure hunt, we'll have a lionfish derby. As you know, we're trying to manage the lionfish population, and this is one way of doing it. and we're going to have the photograph competition. This year, the emphasis is going to be on Rex. One of the big things I want to do is invite more locals to participate. You can go to any of the dive operators, Lesport, Eastern Caribbean Diving, Tikai, which has island diving, and Shasney, Sugar Beach. You can go to any of these dive operators and you can speak to them. They'll give you a special rate for that week. They'll even teach you at a special rate. All right, that's the arrangement we have for that week. And you can participate.
Hey everyone, so we are literally invading a drumming session again. It's still part of the Youth Summer Arts program, and we're really getting into all the different elements and the programs happening. Now, you'll know when there's music or two sticks knocking a bottle, I have to be there, and the beat was sounding really good. So let me introduce you to our facilitators. We're going to come down the line, and you are?
Jason Alcide.
Great.
Yeah.
And what's your specialty with the drum?
Drumming. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nigel Nestor.
Great.
Yeah, I'm a drummer, painter,
Yes.
a bass player.
I was about to say too, we definitely know you on my show. Yeah. Great, and last but definitely not least.
Covered Popo. I just have a passion for the arts. I'm not a drummer, I'm learning along the way. I'm actually a teacher at David Butaid Primary School, and we have a drumming group. Mr. Nestor and I, Niger and I have a drumming group. I think we'll be 13 years old. Yes, yes. After school program. We meet 3 times a week, and the children are all excited about this program.
Well, I mean, it's summertime, school is out. We all want stuff for the children to do. And clearly from what we've been seeing, they are loving the drumming aspect of it too. Now, I'm going to start over here again. For you, what's it like, just the interaction with the kids and, passing on the knowledge that you have?
Yeah, it's a real thrill, passing it on to them and seeing them come from something green, not even being able to knock 2 sticks together, getting to the point where they understand the rhythm and the complexity and the approach. And the understanding of the drumming, the tradition, and getting everything together. Yeah.
Now, of course, you two, you have a wealth of experience. And I mean, I don't think mentoring in this way is something new to you. But I feel like, every experience is still going to give you something new to learn from as well. So how does it feel to just continue and know that you're helping our culture live on as well?
Well, the first thing I wanted to do ever since is to pass on the music of drum, or the knowledge of drum music, and that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'll always be doing.
Great.
Basically.
Now, what is the format for how you all are going to be approaching teaching the children, especially taking people who are green and never done it, into being able to hold a rhythm?
Well, first I run a little exercise to find out where they are rhythmically, right? And from there, boy, we try to see what instrument we could put them on and guide them along. Sometimes we have to change them as we go through on different instruments until we get it right. You must have patience to do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, of course, with you also having a teaching background, being here learning, and also sharing the knowledge to your interactions and just seeing how the kids are enjoying this, how does it make you feel knowing you?
First of all, I'd like to say there is the belief that the children don't appreciate our culture, and this is not true. They're all excited everywhere we go and we introduce the art of drumming to them. They're all excited. So this is not true. I want it to be cleared. So when they come to us, all we have to do is to make them enjoy. So our first session is always a fun session to get them hooked on to it. As long as they're captivated, then you can share the knowledge with them.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? I think this is a very exciting program. It's just an extension and continuation of our culture. And just as you said, I'm going to echo that. The kids are definitely interested in our culture. We have to make sure we keep them engaged and keep it interesting for them. And you guys are definitely doing this. Now, for somebody like me, give us a basic, one of the basic things we can learn on drums. We're going to get a quick lesson right here.
Maybe the cameraman should let you to see how fast we can do.
Okay, we're going to put a challenge out right now. We're going to see how fast I can learn something.
Tell you, use your leg to hold the drum, not your hands. Your hands are to play, so right. So I'll teach you a fast rhythm.
Okay.
So I just need you to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the middle leg. Hold it up, hold it.
right, so there you have it. That was a quick and easy, simple beat to learn. Easy enough that I caught it this quickly, and I can only imagine the enjoyment that the kids are getting out from this. But I want to say to all of you facilitating this, thank you so much. Shout out to YSAP. This is so much fun. Get your kids in something, get them engaged, whether it's drumming, the arts, there's something for everybody. So make sure you keep them active this summer, all right? Hey, everybody. I'm really hoping that you enjoyed today. It's always a pleasure sharing every moment here with you. This is what we like to do here at This Morning. So if you have any story you want to share as well, feel free to do that. But of course, right now, we want you to remember, centering thought for today, we are going to be fighters. We're going to live our best lives. And of course, you can keep doing that by always showing us love here at This Morning and of course, here at DBS. So from your family from DBS and from mine and from me, everybody, you go out and have an amazing day tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again. So I will see you very soon.